Oh, what the hell? Now we're live. Hello? Chunky Gorilla is in the house. Chris Marco. Yeah, I appreciate the 5 from Chris he sent yesterday at the last second. I appreciate that, man. It helps a lot. It helps a lot in times of despair. Is that a Sprite bottle? No, I never drink Sprite. I drink the store brand. I drink store brand soda only. Peanut Gallery is in full effect. I hope so. I hope so, man. Yeah, I bought a new chair, but there's no lumbar support. That kind of hurts my back. Like, they gave me one, but it's so uncomfortable. It, like, sticks out. It's so stupid. You know? I guess if I sit up like this, it's fine. It's so uncomfortable when the one that they gave me. What a ride from Whale Talk. The ride has just begun, man. The ride has just begun. Yeah, that's so annoying, dude. This indicator sucks, man. It sucks. So believe it or not, MicroStrategy might come all the way back to 250, dude. Because back in 2022, you came back to the top of the guppy. And that's all the way at like 270. You think it could go back to 270, dude? I don't know, man. That's pretty high. I almost sold everything yesterday. It's the closest I've ever been. You should get a chance to sell, honestly. You really should. Well, depending on what you're holding. Obviously, some coins will just go down forever, but I really think it's improbable that we just go down from here. Because I was looking at a bunch of moving averages, and usually when they cross, we actually turn bullish for a short period of time. All right. This one isn't the most useful. We'll make this one white. Green is good. This one was blue, right? And this one stays red. Okay. Chris for 10 says, gambled $1,000 on loop ring on Kraken this morning. 40x back to the high. What do you think? I appreciate the 10. I mean, listen, you could definitely get a relief rally for loop ring. You should get a relief rally in the next 3 months. I really think you should. I think the top is in for loop ring forever. It's never going back to $3. I think it's going to suffer the same fate as EOS. Because you can see in 2021, this coin went down 99%. And then it did a 200x. And we know that from the last bull market, almost all of the coins that did 100x or 200x didn't even go up this cycle. So the fact that this didn't go up at all tells me that it's coming back down here. Because remember, peak euphoria in this market cycle was right here. Most people's net worths peaked right here. And from that moment, the price has fallen by 92%. So that would be the equivalent probably of like this. Yeah, this coin came out in 2018. Holy crap, dude. This coin's never going back up. I don't know why it didn't register in my head. Loop ring came out in 2017? Yeah, this coin's done, man. I think you can get a relief rally for sure over the coming 2 months. Most definitely. But I would be surprised if it got over 10 cents. Maybe you get a wick up to like 15. I think that would be your best case scenario. Comes up to 10 cents. It's probably March or February, and then it goes down again. That's what I think is the outcome. Because I mean, again, just pretend Bitcoin doesn't exist. This coin has been going down for 7 years, for 4 years already. And Bitcoin went from 13,000 to 125,000. And this coin did nothing but go down. So I think you should get a relief rally over the coming weeks and months. Probably back to 10 cents, maybe to 7.5 cents. If you're lucky, it could get to 15. But 15 would be the absolute top. And then it goes to 0. Now, if it's a full-blown bull market and Bitcoin goes to 150K, then loop ring could go. I still don't think loop ring would go back to the high, but you'd probably go back to like 50 cents to 75 cents. But again, if we get a bull market, it would go against everything Bitcoin has ever done. So, not saying it's impossible, it's just improbable. But I would say 10 cents for loop ring is probably the next stop. Unless it just rug pulls. Something like loop ring goes down forever, so I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what it does. Like if they put out a tweet that says we're no longer working on the project, and then it'll just go to 0. But I would say 10 cents or at least 7.5 for loop ring. But I appreciate the 10, man. But if Bitcoin goes to a new high somehow, I still don't think it would go back up, but it'll probably go to like 30 to 50 cents. Fireman for 2 says, I appreciate the 10 though. Fireman for 2 says, ACH bullish divergence. Appreciate the 2 ACH. ACH bullish divergence. Yeah, it is another coin that's just inside of a death spiral. You say daily RSI. Let's see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. A triple bullish divergence. I see what you're saying. You should get some type of relief rally. Just remember though, you had bullish divergences here, and the price just kept falling. So at some point, you should get a relief rally for ACH. You should. That doesn't mean that the bottom is in, but it does suggest relief is on the horizon. How high is the relief? You could go all the way back to 14, maybe even 19. I would say a break over 19 would confirm that the bottom is in and it's going to the moon. Anything below 19 is considered bearish, in my opinion. So relief rally should be on the way over the next couple of months. Same thing happened in 2022. ACH put in a double bottom. You spiked up in February and then it went to zero. So it's very freaking possible that we're doing this. Same exact time frame. It's really interesting. You have all of the same. Oh my God, look at that shit. It goes right to the 382. Wow. You have all of the same indicators flashing right now that you did in 2022. So we should get a relief rally, honestly. Or a new all-time high, as some people would argue. Dev for 2 says, what do I think about veal token? I appreciate the 2. Isn't veal like a lamb? Or some type of animal? Some type of meat? What do I think of veal token? Okay, there's a stock. I don't see a token. Aerodrome, potentially? Yeah, it looks good. Not everyone's going to experience a bear market. Some people's coins are not doing anything. But you got to remember that crypto that we once knew is no longer. Some coins don't go down. Some coins don't go up. Some coins only go down. Don't forget about that, right? We can look at something like this and say, oh, this coin's bullish. That means we're in a bull market. But there's coins that never went up at all. And we can't say that that's bearish for a bear market. Some coins just don't go up. And some coins don't go down. I would say if this coin falls below 75, it's probably going to go much lower. You're already below the 382. I would say bearish below 10.5. We'll say bearish below 10.5. Anything over 10.5 is considered bullish, in my opinion. Below 10.5 bearish, above 10.5 bullish. If you break below 78, it's going to zero. I think the breakout is confirmed over 12.4. Once you get to 12.4, the bottom is in, and we can look for a new high, which it does look good. It's making higher lows. So this coin could be a good winner if we get a relief rally. But anything lower than 75, and it's extremely bearish, in my opinion. Riser for 5 says, when we fall below the Gaussian channel, we turn red in February. What is the average return of MSTR 3x short? I appreciate the 5. Well, unfortunately, there's no consistent data for that because there's only one data point. But the 3x ETF for MSTR is just whatever MSTR does times 3. So if MSTR falls by 74% from the peak, then you would get 210% for the 3x ETF. Just keep in mind that if MSTR bounces 10% like this, well, actually MSTR bounced 60%. I'm pretty sure the 3x ETF will go to zero. I don't think they have a 3x ETF. Maybe where you live, because you live in the land of the driving on the left side of the road. But for most people, there's no 3x ETF. But an ETF with leverage is just the same percentage times whatever the ETF is. So a 2x ETF would be 140%. But the channel flashing red is on a couple of time frames. We don't have it on the 4-day. And we do have it on the 3. No, we don't have it on the 3-day. I wonder if it's going to flash now. We got a couple red candles down here. I wonder if it's going to flash now. If it flashes now, it would be interesting. The 3-day isn't the most accurate. It's just something to look at. I think once you get to 4 and 5, then it starts becoming useful. So when this thing flashed red for the 4-day, you actually had one more rally and then you went down. The 5-day flashed right away, like right at the top. I think it flashed back here too. Yeah, this shit flashed red right at the top. So if it flashes red on the 5-day, you know you're looking for a move to the downside. But we won't get that for a long time. 4-day is still useful because it lets you know like something is coming, but it could be anywhere. Like you got a red one here and you still didn't go down for another 4 months. This one you flashed red on the 4-day and you went down 2 months later. So 4-day lets you know that something is coming in the next couple months, which is why we're probably not going to get it right now. If it is going to happen, it'll probably happen in January. The 5-day is not going to happen until March, I think, or February. I don't know, because it happened in March last time, so maybe it happens in February this time. But I appreciate the 5, man. Veal is a cow that is put in a small cage. That's sad. That's fucking nuts, man. What the hell? Don't even tell me. I don't want to hear that. That's fucked up. I sent you 1.5 on base. Can you look at Moncock? I appreciate the 1.5, man. That's awesome. I appreciate the 1.5. Okay, is your coin on base? Let's go to deck screener. Let's see if I could find it on Dex Tools. Yes, we can. Shh. Oh, it just came out? This coin has no liquidity. Alright, so our friend is still gambling. Price looks good. Looks bullish. I would say from the low up to the high, you're bouncing right off to 382. As long as it stays over 11, I would say you're good to go, man. Bullish. I would say bullish over 11.5, bearish below. Once it falls below 11.5, the top is in. As long as you're above 11.5, you could even look for a new high back up to 5.5. I appreciate the 2, man. It helps out a lot. Barcelona's playing today. Are you all in on Barcelona? All in on Barcelona. Can you overlay the 3x short you showed it last time? There is no 3x short, man. There's a 2x short. MST. Oh, wait, this is the long. MSTU is the long. So if MSTR goes up 50%, this will go up 100%. So you could see MSTR just went to 0 and this fell by 91%. Yeah, I don't have the MSTR one. I should have. I thought I did. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so MSTR fell and this did a 4x. That can't be. How could that be possible? Did a 4x? That can't be possible. Maybe they did like a stock split or something. I know they did it here, but how could it go from 3? Yeah, that's a 4x. That's almost a 5x. I don't know. Maybe there's like a premium or something? I don't know how that's possible. Yeah, that's odd. It did a 3x even though even though MicroStrategy only went down 80%, this did a 3x. That's weird. Interesting. Our Casa for 2 says, get your opinion on BTC with the ISM PMI. I appreciate the 2. Yeah, that's like the #1 bull hopium is QE with the PMI. Instead of fighting it, I'm just going to accept it. Listen, if the PMI goes to the moon, we'll go to the moon. I'm with you. If PMI doesn't go to the moon, we don't go to the moon. It's very simple. I don't even know how to spell PMI. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I mean, in my honest opinion, I don't think there's a guarantee that it's going to rally like this. I think the hopium that's being pushed on YouTube is we're at bull run territory, and I see the idea, but don't you think it spent a little bit more time down here than usual? That means that there's something wrong. The bull hopium is it's going to be a big bull run. I would argue if it was going to go up, it would have went up by now, don't you think? This tells me that there's something wrong, because why did it not go up? Because something's probably wrong. So I don't think there's a guarantee that it's going to go up. But I would say this. I think if we can get the dominance to go higher in 2026, the next bull run is going to be big for altcoins. That's what I think. Because you can see Dogecoin runs when this thing runs. 2017. Look, Dogecoin came out here. This thing ran. Dogecoin pumped in 2017. This thing ran. Dogecoin pumped in 2020. This thing ran. This thing didn't pump this time, so Dogecoin didn't pump either. So I think it's safe to assume that if this does not go up in the next 2 months, it's probably going to go down. Then they're going to do QE, and then you're going to get the big bull run in 2027. That's what I think, personally. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we go to the moon from here. But I think if this was going to go up, it would have went up by now. So again, everyone's saying QE, QE, PMI, PMI. How do we know they don't even start QE until like June, right? What if they start QE in June? Because isn't Powell not coming in until May? So how do you know they don't start QE until June? Which I actually think June is going to be the macro bottom for the RSI. Which means a lot of coins are going to go to 0 between March and June. Some of them might bottom in June. Maybe the S&P bottoms in July. Because remember last time the S&P bottomed in October. So the S&P could bottom when QE starts. But I don't know when QE is starting. But people act like they know when there's no evidence. We only have one sample size. But I would argue if this was going to go up, it probably would have went up by now. Excuse me. And on top of that, Doge did peak when this thing peaked. And it's been bearish ever since. I actually have a secret liquidity chart that I don't want to share, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. I stole this from one of the Moon Boys in 2023. Unfortunately, he's always bullish, so he's still bullish. But he gets paid to be bullish, so I don't blame him. But this thing started moving down in November, and then we crashed. And then it topped back in September, and then we crashed. So if we see this thing start crashing, right? It crashed in June too, right? When we crashed, and then it crashed again in November. It's not moving down right now, so that could be a sign that there's still bullishness in the market. But if it ends up moving down, I'll let you know. But this also helped me be bullish back in the spring because I saw it going up and I was like, yeah, we might actually go back up. But I believe the indicators have turned bearish on here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Well, actually, they turned bearish in March, but they're turning bullish now. Actually, this doesn't look too shabby. It could be turning bullish. But again, the problem is, this is the problem with this. It looks like it's turning bullish here, but these are 4-month candles. So how do we know it doesn't take 2 more candles to turn bullish? Chad, if it's a bear market, the bear market's over in 2 candles. Like, I know we don't want it to be a bear market, but listen, if it is, there's only 8 more months left. Or no, 9 more months left, sorry. Because we already sat through October, we already sat through November, we're going to sit through December. But this says the next bull run should be pretty good. I'm telling you, I think the next bull run might actually be good. Because this is going to turn green. Yeah, dude, look. I'm not even bullshitting you. Look at our bull run, man. This thing actually went down in the bull run. But in 2021, again, I'll put Doge on the chart. Look at the bull runs when this thing pumps. January of 2018, January of 2021. It didn't even turn green this market cycle. That's how bad it was. That's nuts. Now it is going to turn green, it looks like. But again, if it takes 2 more candles, that's 8 months from now. But that's actually not bad. I think the next market cycle here is going to be decent if the Bitcoin dominance goes up. I think if the Bitcoin dominance goes down, again, unless we make a new all-time high, then you can have whatever you want. But if Bitcoin doesn't make a new all-time high, I would rather have the dominance go up. This way we avoid this. But that would be the case for the PMI. Appreciate the 2. Dennis for 5 says, can you look at Pepe, please? I appreciate the 5, man. That is awesome. Appreciate the 5. Helps out a lot. Yeah, it looks like Pepe's got a shot at a bottom. It looks like you're forming something like this, where you came down to fill the wick to an extent, but the wick is not fully filled. So I do think at some point it has to come down here. Pretty much like this. However, if we do end up getting a big bounce for Bitcoin, which it looks like we are, it's very possible that Pepe comes back up to 68. You can also see the major downtrend all the way back from the top. Depending on when this comes in, is also right at the downtrend. So it's very likely Pepe gets a relief rally, at least back to 68. If we get stuck at 68 in February, then that's the top. And then it's going to come back down and fill the wick and potentially break down. Because this is a ginormous head and shoulders. There's no question. And we already broke the neckline. Or we're actually sitting right. We're actually sitting right on it. Sorry. We're sitting right on it. Didn't even see that. So this is probably a bottom for now. But again, there are no guarantees because in 2022, when we bounced, some coins made new lows. So if Pepe doesn't get a strong relief when Bitcoin bounces back to like 95K, then Pepe's probably not bouncing. So I would tell you that. There's a really good chance Pepe bounces back up to 68, but if we don't see Pepe start moving up with Bitcoin, the closer it gets to 100K, then it's probably not bouncing. Because for all we know, Pepe could come up to 55 and then roll over. There's no guarantees these coins are all going to pump. They should, because that's what happened back here. I'm pretty sure this was a 618 retracement as well. Yeah, it was. So it's very likely you come at least to the 382, which is 68. But yeah, I'd say 68 for Pepe. Assuming, again, contingent on the bounce pushing Pepe up. If Bitcoin goes to 98K and Pepe doesn't move, then it's not bouncing. That's it. Why would that happen if the Bitcoin dominance goes up? But I appreciate the 5, man. Helps out a lot. But in my opinion, I think it's a matter of time, only a matter of time before Pepe goes to 29. I just don't know if it's going to bounce first or not. Probably will. But, and then obviously if we make a new all-time high, then congratulations to the Moon Boys. You did it again. Oh, we might have found something. Hold on a second, chat. Look, for the first time this market cycle, the white moving average is crossing below the red. The last time that happened was here, signaling it's a bull market. Time before that, it happened here, signaling it's a bear market. And then look, you had a relief rally. Yeah, I don't know, man. You got to make your bets. Do you think it's a bear market or a bull market? The thing is, chat, every indicator that said it was a bull market in 2023 is going off now as a bearish indicator. Just like in 2022. Yeah, 2018 as well, man. When the white crosses below the red, it lets you know it's a bear market. It's just happening earlier. That's what's interesting. Look, this one was 289 from the top. This one was 190 from the top. This one was 67 from the top. This one was 50. So it's almost telling you in advance. But I think it's because the RSI is topping earlier. That's why. Just like it's telling you it's a bull market further away from the bottom, too. To an extent. This one was pretty long. 280 days. This one was fast. 150. Oh, no, they're all 150. Yeah. So if it is a bear market, you should actually be looking for a rally right now. Because look, in 2022, you got the same exact death cross at the same exact spot. We went down, and then we had a relief rally. Look, this was 69 days from the bottom. Sorry, from the top. Ours is 56 days. I don't know, man. At least I'm showing it to you. I can't tell you to buy or sell, but we should get a relief rally. It says we should rally back up to 102,000, which is pretty much where a lot of people would FOMO back in. I could see people going nuts at 100,000. Holy shit, we're going to the moon. I think it's gonna happen, man. We should get back to 100,000. I mean, you could even see it. This is the first time we're below the red moving average. Yo, they're actually running the same play twice in a row. And you know why it could work? Because I ran the same play at the top and we didn't want to believe it. I think that's why it works. Because even though people pointed out, like not me, I didn't point it out, but other YouTubers did, people still didn't want to hear it. So it could be that simple. We just, like, you know how many people are saying we go back to 104? The whole planet is looking for that, myself included. But it's like, I could see people not even buying in until we get to 104. Like, there's 200 people in the chat. There's at least 3 people that are not going to buy back in until it gets to 104. Because they're going to say, if it doesn't, they're going to say, oh man, if it's a bear market, there's no way we go back to 104. I'm going to get in if it gets over 100,000. I used to think that way too. It's really bad. But I mean, just all the basic stuff is broken. So if you're betting on a bull market, you're betting on... I mean, look, this is the first time we're below every moving average. But I said this morning. Oh no, I wanted to show you before, but it wasn't working. Yeah, even this says the bottom is in, or there's going to be a relief rally. Sorry. Look. When this blue moving average crosses below the, sorry, when the white moving average crosses below the blue one, it marked the bottom here. Or, excuse me, it marked a relief rally. Here, white below blue is here again. So we should actually be bullish from here. This one was just bearish. So you had 3 bullish ones. We're looking for white below blue. Yeah, this one was bullish as well. So we should actually be bullish from here. I'm telling you, man, our date with destiny is in February, I think. I think if Bitcoin's going to make a new all-time high, it has to happen before February. Because if we go back up to 106 in February, that's the final pump before the move down. I mean, you could actually argue, chat, that every single time these moving averages crossed, you actually made a lower high, with the exception of 2021. But here's the thing. The difference is, in 2021, the white moving average crossed back over the blue moving average. The other times, it did not. Yeah, that's a valid, oh, here it did too, and it was still bear. Yeah, here it did, but it was still bearish. Yeah, so with the exception of 2021, this one marked a bottom. Apple bottom. Yeah, so when this blue moving average crosses over the white, it's bullish. But almost every time it leads to a lower high, except for 2021. So you got to place your bets. Do you think it's going to be a higher high this time, or is it a lower high? I can't tell you. I don't know. If I knew, I would make a play. But I want to see. If it comes to March and we're still down here, I think you get your answer. Right? Trump announcement in 20 minutes. What is it going to say? No income tax? DC Woodwork says I'm so bullish right now. Yeah, it is really bullish, honestly. At the moment, it is bullish. Question is, what happens in February? It's gonna be a big moment, I'm telling you, bro. If we make a new all-time high, do you know how many people would like, it would just invalidate so much. It would invalidate so much. The issue is, the people that are saying that are always bullish. And take it from someone who's always bullish. Even in 2022, they did what I did and they had bullish hopium. The problem is people that are still bullish, they're just always bullish. There's very few people that are bullish and bearish at the right time. And most of the people that are bearish are always bearish. It's the people that flip at the right time. They're just hard to find because there's so few of them. They're out there, but they're hiding because the big YouTubers are just the people that scream the loudest. And most of the time, the big YouTubers are just a bunch of jabronis. Like Alex Becker, for example. I'm not saying he's a jabroni, but he screams a lot. And he was telling us alt season, alt season, alt season. And he's the biggest YouTuber. So, you know, who's the next biggest YouTuber? I don't even know. Altcoin Daily, I'm pretty sure he's bullish too. They make more money being bullish. Nobody wants to hear bearish. Everyone wants to hear QE bull run. Chris for 5 says, I sent you a Litecoin, bruv. Mark this date just like last time. It was the bottom. I appreciate the 5. Yo, did you really, man? Hold on a second. Let me check. Yo, that's a lot. That's like $70. Yo, Chris is keeping... Whoops. Yeah, why not? You guys could stare at that for a second. Yo, my man Chris is keeping the fucking lights on, dude. Let's see if it worked. It says a new live stream. Yeah, I don't think I got it. Nah, I didn't get it. I appreciate the 5. Man, why does my Litecoin wallet not work? Nah, I got the same Litecoin wallet. It's the same one. I just pasted in. Yeah, it should work. That's weird. It says allow 12 minutes for processing. Yeah, I hope it goes through, man. $80 is a lot of money. Do I have to wait for it to go to $40 before I can sell it? No. Yo, I appreciate that. I hope it goes through, man. I actually hope it goes through. Yo, $80 is a lot of money, man. It really is. To just give away. Because the thing is, YouTube's not going to take it. I get the full $80 instead of 50. Dude, I appreciate that a lot, man. I hope it goes through, because last time you sent me Litecoin, they stole it from me. Or maybe it didn't go through. Oh, it says received, baby. Yeah, let's go. Yo, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I really do appreciate that. I'm being serious. Like $82 is a lot. My man, Chris is single-handedly keeping the stream alive. Who's gonna be another handsome, strong man like Chris? Let's go, dude. When can I sell it, dude? If it pops to $100, can I sell it? Yo, LTC, baby. Oh, I broke the uptrend. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I really appreciate that a lot, man. I can't say exactly what's going to happen to Litecoin. But I'll say this, man. XRP just made a new all-time high. So it's very possible that you're doing something like this. It just may take a while. Like this took forever too, like 895 days, which Litecoin is actually doing more than that. Litecoin is at like 1200 days now. But the reality is, if you look at other coins from this timeline, a lot of them are down here still. So I think if Litecoin can somehow not break down below the macro trend, which I don't know if that's necessarily possible, because if we go into a bear market, it's gonna. But like if it can somehow just not break the trend and kind of do something like this, like you could get a big run next time. Because the PMI argument would still apply to Litecoin as well. If you look at the manufacturing index and then you put Litecoin on the chart, look at when it rallies. So I think if Litecoin can just not go to zero in the bear market, if we get a bear market, I know some people, oh my God, look, you can see Litecoin's doing the exact same thing. Holy macaroni and applesauce. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here pretending that the chart doesn't matter. Because clearly you can see every time the manufacturing index rallies, Litecoin rally. Like even the fact that the little baby bump did the same thing, it's legit. But I'm just not so convinced that the PMI is going to rally like everyone thinks it will. Because if it was going to rally, it would have rallied already. And the thing that's knocking on my brain is, why are they cutting interest rates? Whenever they cut interest rates, isn't that bearish in the short term? Like they cut interest rates to stimulate the economy because the economy's slowing down. And the fact that Powell still hasn't cut rates that, well, they're down, but like they're going really slow. It tells me that we may actually experience some turmoil first, and then the PMI will rally. But we need to understand this, chat. This is why I am bullish in the long term, because the 4-year cycle only applies to Bitcoin. It doesn't apply to altcoins. And what I mean by that is the top for Bitcoin was in Q4 and the bottom was in Q4. Some of the altcoins are still going down 4 years later, brother. So obviously the 4-year cycle doesn't give a shit about those coins. Some coins peaked right here, 2 years in advance. So obviously the 4-year cycle doesn't give a shit about them either, because it's a Bitcoin cycle. It's not an altcoin cycle. So I think because the distance from the high is shrinking, it takes less time to get back to the all-time high. And every time Bitcoin goes back to the all-time high, that's when the altcoins run. Most of them, all of them. Let me put it this way. When all of the altcoins run at the same time, that's when the Bitcoin goes to its high. But you'll notice that every time we get past that point, each market cycle, less and less coins are pumping. This time around, everything pumped because everyone was new to crypto. This time around, almost everything pumped, but on the second high, not as many coins pumped. This time, almost nothing fucking went up. And then nothing at all went up on the second attempt, right? How many coins did not even move from August until now? Nothing. So the only real opportunity to make money for people like us is when it's going vertical to the all-time high. But you'll notice, and I know I keep saying this, but I'm going to bring it to you in just a moment to wrap it all together. This was only 800 days from the top. It was not 1,500 days from the top. So that means that this rally should technically begin around 700 days after the top, which 700 days after the top puts us in the end of 2027, which is still 2 years away. I'm not going to pretend that that's not far away. It is. But it's not 1,500 days away. That's fucking far. 600 days from now, if Bitcoin is done with the bear market, assuming we are in one, I know some people say no, and they cut rates to zero and QE is back, it's very possible that that is the next alt season. Because did you know that if this exact move happens, that's where this thing is? This is the summer of 2027. And if you put Litecoin on the chart, Litecoin pumps when this thing pumps. But it doesn't pump right away. That's very important to point out. Do you see how this thing started pumping in August, but Litecoin didn't start going vertical until spring of 2017? This thing started pumping from May, but Litecoin didn't start going vertical until September, when this thing was pretty much topping out. So it's very possible that all this QE nonsense is coming in 2026, but it's not going to be bullish. It's going to probably mark a local bottom. Maybe Litecoin does bottom, because you got to remember Litecoin bottomed the first time in in June. And Litecoin has also been going down for over a year now. So I think personally, something like Litecoin is probably going to bottom early. I don't think it's going to wait for November. I think if the guy steps down in July, when is Jerome Powell step down in May? It's entirely possible that we go through a crash and then around May or June they switch guys and then they start QE probably maybe in the summer or maybe even the fall. And then, listen, I just told you, the QE would start, the PMI would rally, the bull run would start, but the euphoria doesn't start until the PMI is getting close to the top. So the PMI would actually have to bottom and start pumping earlier. So if the PMI bottoms in the summer of next year and then starts rallying until 2027, this is your alt season right here. So something like Litecoin is, you're probably going to be all right, honestly, unless it goes to zero. If Litecoin ends up taking a shit, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't. But you would need something like this, which it would probably look exactly like this, actually. Like, you could probably take a screenshot of this, and we'll come back to it. But I could see Litecoin making a new high, assuming it doesn't go below the low from June. If it goes below the low from June, then it's never going back up. But if it doesn't, you could see this. Because XRP just did the same thing. And I actually think you can make an argument, but like I can just make shit up and it sounds bullish. I was going to say this, but I'm not. Like I don't have any I don't have any belief in it, but like there's so many scams in crypto now that it's very possible that the next market cycle, people just buy the older coins because they look secure, like Litecoin. But I don't believe that. Over the next 2 years, there's going to be a new meme that comes out, maybe on TikTok or something. And then they'll make that a meme coin, and then it'll be the next $1 billion meme coin. Because I can't believe Shiba actually didn't go up. And now Shiba is about to break the low. If we go down from here, Shiba is gonna break the low. So that tells me the next market cycle, the coins that are out now are gonna be rubbish, man. Riser said super chat. Oh yeah, he did. But I appreciate the 5 and I appreciate the Litecoin. I do. I don't know when I'm gonna sell it, but I'm gonna try and hold it for as long as I can. Maybe I'll sell it in March. How's that? If Bitcoin doesn't make a new all-time high by March, then I'm selling that Litecoin you gave me. Because it'll probably be like $100 by then. And I can buy a boogie board or something. I don't know. There's no boogie boarding. But I appreciate that, man. Riser for 2 says AKT on the monthly. Can it do it again? I appreciate it too. AKT. This coin looks terrible. Yeah, here's an example though. Look, it's been bearish since April. But look, this is exactly what I just said to you, chat. This bull run occurred as Bitcoin went from 25K back to the all-time high. And the bear market started right then and there. So what you need to undo in your brain, myself included, is stop looking at the Bitcoin top. You have to look at when the big rally comes, because that's where the top is. Now, for the people in the back that don't like this, cover your ears, but the fucking the Moon Boy event was the top. So I know people don't like to hear that, but April of 2024, brother. Brother. I don't know what to tell you. I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to play. So I think the end of 2028 is probably the end of the bull run for the altcoins, but it might be the middle of 2028. Obviously, our Moonboy chart didn't work for Bitcoin, but it worked for the altcoins. It's sad, but we fucked up the whole market cycle. It is what it is. Wow, I drank the whole bottle. But I don't know what I'm supposed to say about this coin. It's going to zero, man. What would you like me to say? Bearish? Yeah, it's bearish. I think you could get a rally to 80 cents and then it goes down to zero. I think you rally to 80 cents and I think you rally to 120. If you can get over 120 to bottoms in, I would say to the moon. But as long as it's below 80 cents, it's bearish. And I think at some point, you come back down here. Wow, this thing had a monster run. Holy crap. 30x almost. You don't own a glass? Yeah, I have a glass right here. There's just a lot of dust and I have to wash it. I just washed all my dishes too, but I didn't wash this one yet. I don't know how long this has been sitting here. Off-brand 2-liter on stream. Yeah, I only buy this. That bottle's $1, man. Why would I spend $3 on Sprite if I could get a similar flavor for $1? This guy said you don't own a glass. What do you think I am, man? My wife's not in here. I'm not trying to impress you guys. Even if she was, I'd still drink it out of the bottle. Oink, oink. I need Chill Guy to go to 5. I got a 200x leverage play. Good luck, man. You just have a random dusty cup sitting next to your desk. It's not clean. You just had an oxymoron, a clean, dusty cup. I don't know if that's the right grammar, but I like using smart words. There's no such thing as a clean, dusty cup. That's like saying you're skinny fat, which is a real thing, but skinny fat. I need Chill Guy. I already read that. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dominic. Good evening, everyone. No Berto today? Maybe he said hi and I didn't see it. Good evening, everyone. No Berto today. Alberto Del Rio. So, it is that time of stream. I was going to put my Christmas tree up, but I didn't because I was cleaning everything and then I forgot to put it up. But I bought a little ironing board. I forgot to put the tree up. I bought a little ironing board like a granny. Good evening, everyone. Get your subs in chat. I need you to click the link in the chat. If you're watching on the phone at work, or maybe you're at the gym, or maybe you're doing something that you shouldn't be, but you're not looking at the stream, I need you to take the time now to look at the chat and click on the link. We're trying to get to 600 subscribers. All right. We only got 20 people to watch my new video. A new video is coming out on the 4th, which is in 2 days. Please take the time to watch the videos. Maybe you're dropping the kids off at soccer. You just put this on in the car, let them listen to it. You know, every watch hour helps. I would like to get monetized before the next bull run. This way I can just eat food all over the world and make money. Would be a nice life. But hopefully you guys can sub up. We're trying to get to 600 subscribers. We still didn't get a new sub from the chat. There's got to be at least one person. I know there is a delay, so we'll come back. But I'd appreciate that as we prepare for the bull market. Bull market's back, baby. Lost 10 viewers on there. You're waiting for the Crunchwrap video? That new food channel is awful. What the fuck is this guy's problem? Metal detector, you asked me, I forgot to answer. I think on the balance he should get out. Not financial advice. I think we're going to get a big relief rally. Wherever Jasmy is in February or March, I think you cut it. Not financial advice. That's what I would do. I think we're going to get a really big relief rally coming up. Wherever Jasmy ends up going, that's it. Now keep in mind that in 2022, we had a big relief rally, but Jasmy did fuck all not. Oh, no, Jasmy had a big relief rally. Wow. Yeah, maybe you might have a chance. But Jasmy was going straight down. That's the problem, man. I don't think is Jasmy going straight down right now? I would wait it out, man. I don't know. You're already down so much. You might as well just say wing it. Fuck it. No, don't do that. I'm just kidding. But listen, if we get this relief rally, it's possible Jasmy gets a big bounce to like 1 cent. Yeah, I think if this thing hits 1 cent, man, you cut that shit. Maybe 1.5 if you're greedy. Maybe sell half at 1, sell the rest at 15. Don't rule this out. We might get a decent relief rally, man. Because look at what happened in the summer. We got a nasty relief rally of 120%. So even if you got a half of that at 50%, I think Jasmy could pump to 1.1. I'm not telling you it's guaranteed, but if we're going to get a relief rally, it has to happen now. And I think if you see Jasmy breaking down without Bitcoin, then you could probably cut it. But I'm not telling you to hold or sell or buy or do whatever. You got to do what's best for you, man. There's no guarantees it pumps. Because what could also happen is it could also go lower and then rally. So you got to ask yourself, what do you want to do with the money? In my opinion, there's nowhere else to go but down here. The question is, does it go up first and then go down? I think that's probable. But you gotta do what's best for you, man, not financial advice. We thinking February is where the top might be? It looks like it could be. That's what I think is on the table. Again, I'm not an expert. You have to watch your favorite YouTuber. Maybe it's still a bull market, but our 2-day super guppy is printing red, which means the trend is no longer bullish. Now, you can't run around just because of the 2-day super guppy, but the last time it was red was in 2022, and we ended up rallying until March, which was 74 days. So 74 days from now is actually February. Well, 74 days from when it turned red. So I think we're shooting for February. I think if Bitcoin fails to reclaim 106,000 by February, that should be it. Yeah, the blue guppy is now starting to show. First time this market cycle. Again, this actually says you'll get over the guppy. Yeah, it's like 106. We might even go to 106, dude. I think we could get to 106. I honestly think if we get to 106, a lot of people are going to buy back in. I really do. If I were going to trap as many people as possible, I would send it to 106. But I would do it as slow as possible. Because right now, there's people watching it grind higher, and they're like, oh man, I got to get in. So I would make it go up as slow as possible. But the problem with that is the more time we spend down here, the more bearish it is. But if you're a moon boy, you don't care because it's always bullish. But I don't think we could spend much more time down here if it's a bull market because you're getting bear market indicators. The 3-day Gaussian channel didn't flash red yet. It doesn't mean that it's bearish because you can see it flash red here and we went up. But you got the 2-day, you got the 3-day. I mean, the longer you stay down here, they're going to start going off. And this is the first time this market cycle we're below it on the 4-day. So if it flashes red on the 4-day, it's over. You can say that it flashed red here, but we were above it. When we flashed red here, we were below it. We're below it right now. So if it flashes red, that's not good. And if it flashes red on the 5-day, you're actually about to go straight down. That's why the Gaussian channel is so good. It flashed red here and you never went back to that point. Same thing in 2022. And guess where this shit is? It's everything is in the same spot. It's like 103,000. So it's like we really shouldn't get over that if it's a bear market. If it is a bear market, we should probably rally back up to like 105. I think 105 is going to get hit. And then if it blows through that, then you could say, holy shit, bull run. Because if we go back to 105 and then it rugs by 70%, that puts you right at the bottom. Or 60%. That puts you right at the bottom at 40,000. Which is where I think the bottom is. I think 40 to 45,000 or 50 maybe. But I think we have a date with 100K, I think. I mean, everyone does, but that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, chat. You get a date with 100,000. Crisscross Applesauce for 2 says thoughts on Giga Murad and on Coinbase. I appreciate the 2, man. That's awesome. Yeah, this thing is fucked, man. You could get a nice relief rally, but that's about it. Yeah, again, it's been going down for over a year now. So you got to ask yourself this question. When Bitcoin was over every single bull market indicator, this coin still went down. So now that Bitcoin is below every single bull market indicator, we expect this coin to go up. Now, let me ask you this. Everyone says that because, oh, well, everyone's saying the same thing. If you didn't have Twitter or YouTube, would you tell that to yourself? Well, now everything's below the bull market support, so now it's going to go up. Or would you say everything's bearish? I would say everything's bearish. So I think this coin is going to get a relief rally if you're lucky. Maybe you already did. Yo, this thing already did a 3x, my brother. If you didn't sell that, it's over. No, I'm just kidding. But there's no guarantees that these coins rally back up. If Bitcoin gets a rally to 100,000, it's very possible this thing pops up to 12. You can see not only is the 382, but it's also the major downtrend. Or it's actually above the downtrend. So if you can get over 75, it will go to 12. If you can get over 12, the bottom is in and it's going up to the moon. But as long as it's below 75, it's bearish. 12 is bearish. Appreciate it too. You're the guy that's son had the Santa Claus debacle, right? Whoa, 220 viewers? Should I show my food channel? Yo, 2 subs. Get your votes in, chat, or get your subs in, chat. If you want to support the channel, click the link in the chat. Go subscribe to my food reviews. We got 2 reviews a week. We got another video coming out in 2 days, which I know that's not a week. Oh, yeah, it is. 7 days ago it'll be, I think. The flatbread, or not the flatbread. What is it called? The crunch wrap? I think the crunch wrap comes out next week. My videos for December are done. I think I got 4 videos. I don't know. Two subs is bearish. Yeah, that's all right. The next bull run is going to be good, so I'm going to be able to shill the channel. Top of the channel. At least we're back over 200 viewers. That's good. If BNB goes up from here, I am calm. Now it's slowly reversing. BNB, I don't even have, here it is. Yeah, BNB always does well. BNB's always bullish. That's not that bullish. The 12-month candle is pretty bearish, actually. Holy shit. Yeah, that's not bullish, unfortunately. A 50% wick. Oh, it's only 35%. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's another thing, too. If Bitcoin closes December red, you now have another confirmation of a bearish reversal. Oh, dude, they're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. The candle's going to close green, but it's going to... Yeah, chat, they're doing the thing we talked about. The British are coming. Yo, chat, they're doing the thing. Look. You got three green candles, and then it was a bear market. You got 3 green candles, and then it was a bear market. If this candle goes to 94K in the next 30 days, you would have 3 green candles. Chat, they're doing the thing, man. And then because it's diminished returns, the 3rd candle is getting smaller. The British are coming. The British are coming. They're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. I just joined. What's up, John Jones? Welcome to the middle of the live stream. Don't poke my eye. Don't poke me in my eye. I don't even know about that. I just see it in the comments. Eye poke. How's the 12-month on Litecoin? That's a good question. Why don't I have Litecoin on my watch list? That's weird. Oh, it doesn't look like anything, actually. The bearish candle was in January of 2021. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything, actually. I think, honestly, it's very possible the bottom is in for Litecoin. I think you might just come down and test it. For some reason, Litecoin is just performing better than everything, not everything else, but I actually think you should watch the Bitcoin pair more. If the Bitcoin pair could actually save you. Because look, even if the Litecoin Bitcoin pair does this and it spikes, all it has to do is spike by 50%. Then if Bitcoin goes to 40,000, the price of Litecoin stays where it is. I could see that happening where some type of bullshit scam bounce comes in to prevent Litecoin from breaking down. It's very possible. It looks like we're about to get some type of rally in the coming weeks, but I think personally, if Bitcoin pumps up to 106K and gets stuck, Litecoin should hit 140 or at least 120. Because then if Bitcoin goes from 100K to 50K, we could go from 130 down to 50 bucks. But we were already at 50 bucks in July. You know, so it's like you didn't even really experience anything because you were 50 bucks in a bull market. Now it's 50 bucks again. And then if you go back to the PMI we talked about, the next bull run could be big for Litecoin. So I think personally, honestly, you fucking held it this long. You might as well just double down. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, I'm just kidding. Not financial advice. And watch out for LTCN too. If LTCN gets a big bounce, but it makes a lower high, that's bearish. But I appreciate the super chat, man. I'm hoping we get a 400K Bitcoin. That's impossible, brother. 2030 is only 5 years away. All right, we got some subs. I told you, man. I just got to keep shilling. We're getting about 5 subs a day right now. Again, maybe you're at school. Maybe your kid's in the back. If you can take your phone out of your pocket and click on the link in the chat, it is my food channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Maybe you can watch some of the videos on your free time. Maybe your girlfriend is nagging you and you just put this on in the background and just nod your head. Like that song. Just trying to get watch hours. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It only takes 5 minutes of your time. Literally, every video is between 4 to 5 minutes. Some of them are 7. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. Don't do it in your car. Do it in your dining room. Oh, this guy thinks I have a dining room. My man. God bless your soul. Do it at your computer. That's like the worst spot you could do it. In front of my computer. Listen, man, if you don't like it, don't watch it, you fat fuck. How about that? Nah, just kidding. I got for 2026. Yeah, I'll admit this year I turned a lot. Most of you haven't been here in 2021. When I first made my YouTube channel, I had a really bad potty mouth, but I was a young man. I'm not a young man anymore. So I like to pretend that I'm a little more mature. But this year I really brought back the foul language, so I'm gonna have to dump it for 2026. Because it was really, my foul language was really bad, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be a new man. No, I'm not doing shit because it's the new year. I'm just doing shit because I have to make a change. And I have been changing. I just went back on my diet soda grind because I realized it had no impact on my blood pressure, so. Kevin says first day here, new subscriber. Yo, my man Kevin. It is your first day here. You joined 14 years ago, though. It took you 14 years to find me. Welcome aboard. Oh, no, wait a minute. The last time a Kevin found our channel, we went straight down. Right? Kevin Andrade? Oh, no. Yeah, the Kevin curse is back, chat. Kevin is reincarnated. I actually think Solana is forming the largest head and shoulders in NBA history post-shot clock era. So just be careful with that, yeah? There's no guarantees. Maybe it is bullish. But this is a ginormous head and shoulders, which we did not break the neckline yet. So technically, you could argue that you're bullish. The problem is, if you go back to the prior market cycle, you also formed a head and shoulders. The reason why this is scary is because we're in December and this was January. So I can't come on here telling you that Solana is the most bullish thing I've seen when you're potentially forming the same exact pattern that you formed in 2022. And here's the biggest part, chat. Not only are the months almost the same, but the price is the exact same. Look, in January of 2022, Solana was forming a head and shoulders, and the price was $139. Today, it's December, and the price is $140. That tells me that if Solana breaks down below this level of $100, it's going to go all the way back down to 30 bucks. I don't think it's going to go as low as last time because there's no FTX collapse. I think if Solana wasn't a part of the scam, the bottom probably would have been like 20 bucks. Not 8. I think he only went to $8 because of FTX. So if we assume there's no FTX this time, then it should go back to like $30 to $40. Because that's where it was back here. It was $30. And then once it was announced that FTX said Solana was the fucking coin, it rugged immediately. So I think Solana is forming a ginormous head and shoulders, but it's still technically bullish in the short term until you break that. Once you break $100, it should go straight down. Which if you take the previous bull market and you overlap it to where we are, it would look something like this. Which, again, we talked about this before. Even this says February. So I think if Bitcoin is at 105K in February, that's probably the top. Excuse me. Very unprofessional. The only narrative left for crypto is X money. Yeah, I don't follow narratives anymore, man. I have suspicion the new Kevin is actually our friend John Doe. Nah, John Doe is grown now. He doesn't have time for that. What are my New Year's resolutions for not swearing? I have to make my list, actually. I have a lot of things I need to change. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. I don't know. I mean, I know, but I have to write them down. I have a lot of goals. But yeah, there's a couple things I have to change. I think getting rid of soda again would probably be beneficial. Not swearing as much. Um, there's a lot of fitness things I need to get on. How about no diet soda and just stick to water? Maybe drink tea. Tea's disgusting. What are my thoughts on marijuana stocks? I have no idea, bro. Do people even do that shit anymore? Like, doesn't everyone just vape now? Do people still smoke marijuana? No, I'm just kidding. Doesn't everybody, don't they have public companies that sell that shit now? The bubble's over, I think. Just like the electronic car. Remember the electric car bubble? It's all rubbish, man. Jim Cramer's bullish on MSTR. There's thousands of tea. Yeah, but I don't like tea. I don't like coffee. I don't like any of that shit. I'll probably just drink water. Probably just drink water. This guy says peppermint tea. That's disgusting. Yo, Smash Toki's in the chat. Japanese walking technique. EVs are taking over. Yeah, but the stocks aren't. Remember NKLA? That was supposed to be the next Tesla. Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at this dude. Look, this is like the altcoins. You don't think they can go down forever. Oh, it got delisted. Doesn't even exist anymore. Weed was a thing 7 years ago. All right, chat, let's get back on track here. This is not bull market. The shit conversations are for the bull market, not now. Yeah, MSTR is ripping, chat. The bottom is in. The bottom is in, baby. Now the timer starts. Can we see MSTR get back to 250 by February? This is it, chat. This is actually happening. Yeah, it's actually following the chart. Dude, it's following the chart to the T. Do you guys actually think they're gonna run the same play twice in a row? It can't be, but it is. The Winged Dragon of Ra. Do you really think February is the last chance to get out before it goes straight down? That can't be. Dude, they're running the same exact play twice in a row. Look. Look at this dude. You made a lower high when Bitcoin made a high. Now it says we should bounce. This actually says the top should be in January. But I don't think that's happening. I think the top is going to be in February. Got to stretch this out a little bit. Then the bottom is in April and then October. Then the bull run starts again. It's that simple? You think it's that simple? Do you guys think it's that simple? Maybe it is. Looks like ETH is bottoming on a bottom moving average. You can't talk about it being over. Once money started flooding the market, when they sent the COVID money, we went parabolic. Now it's 2K. They'll send it out next year. You're saying we went parabolic? We didn't go parabolic until almost 9 months after they sent out the money, my brother in Christ. If you're referring to what I said before with the alt season, can you point out where Doge went parabolic, my brother, my brethren, my fellow farmer? They gave out the COVID checks here. Dogecoin didn't go anywhere for another 270 days. And then it went parabolic. So what I'm saying is, if they do the stimulus or QE or whatever the fuck you want to label it as, next summer, it's very possible that, yeah, you're just reinforcing what I told you already. Look, 270 days, they started the stimulus. That was old season. That's what I said before. Fat slob. No, I'm just kidding. Look, it's around the spring, summer of 2027. That's what I said before. You gabagool, babushka. So we go down, they say QE, Bitcoin goes down one more time, and then the bull run starts, and then the max euphoria should be here somewhere. Just like here. You're just giving me, look, the top was 426 days post-COVID bottom. So if they start the stimulus in August, I don't think the top is going to be March of 2028. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have to look at my chart, my Moonboy chart. Intel hasn't reached into 2019 high yet. I missed that part. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to come on here pretending to be an economist. I'm just making shit up for people to gobble, just like all the other YouTubers. Nobody knows for sure. But one thing I can say is this. Whatever the narrative is, it will come. But if Bitcoin fails to reclaim any bullish resistance by March, the fact that MSTR is also bouncing now, like, we can't ignore it. I mean, bro, look at this shit. Even this random ass time frame, you're bouncing off of it just like last time. It's like every single indicator is doing the same exact thing. I have to share it with the chat. Chat. Look at this dude. The 3-day Gaussian channel flashed red. MSTR bounced back to the top of the channel. The problem is, which I guess maybe is not a problem, is look at how high up it is. So it's like if MSTR shot all the way back up to $300, everyone would FOMO in and say, holy shit, that's so bullish. Which it kind of is, but like, if you get rejected at the channel, yo, it's going to go straight down to like $100. That's why if it's bullish, we got to get out of here and just go. But the thing is, now that we just printed another candle on the monthly, now you have 2 red candles on the MACD. So it's kind of like, what? Brother, February of 2022, we went down in March. So this is saying we go down in January, but I don't know if I believe that. Oh, you can't even see it. So it's kind of like we're getting the bounce where we're supposed to get the bounce, but is it bullish or is it not? You're not going to know until it's too late. If it's bullish, you're going to make a new all-time high and then it'll be over. If it's bearish, it's like you have to know beforehand. And the thing is with this, the 2-month candles are actually red the whole time. Which is why, listen, if January is bullish, but February's red, the candle will still be red. Yeah, I wonder if that's the play here. What if that's the play? Because I see people on Twitter saying the bull run can't be over because we have 2 green candles on the yearly time frame. We have 30 days to pump $3,000. We just pumped like $5,000 in one day. So again, if it's a bull market, then we'll make a new all-time high by January, and then you just saw something that you've never seen before, which is good. That means the market is changing. But if we get slammed at 96K by the end of December, the candle is green, which means you completed your 3 green candles. And then we open the next candle in January at 97K. We go back to 108 by the end of January, and then February's red back to 94. Now you have another red candle, which is continuing the market cycle of the candles are all red. Yeah, that's an interesting we gotta watch that, chat. Yeah, you get 1 green candle per bear market. This one was 2, this one was 1. We don't want to use up, we're going to use up our candle in February. Maybe. Maybe it's a bull market. Let's see. The Moon Boys are in control, though. The Moon Boys are running wild in the chat. Yeah, this Death Cross is always bullish. The white below the blue. Demon for 2 says, dog with hat. I appreciate the 2. Dude, I think this is gonna work, man. The viewers are coming back. Yeah, dog with hat's about to rip, man. You better FOMO in before it's too late. Double bottom. You should at least get to 60 cents. You could even get back to 88 cents. I would argue that if dog with hat is unable to break 59 cents by February, then it's going down. And if it gets over 88 cents by February, then you're going to get a big bull market and it's going to be joyful to the moon. It looks like we're going to get the relief rally after all. Now, I will say this. We got to not get lost in the sauce. We have to stick down to earth because the stock RSI is now on the upswing, chat. 3-day stock RSI is bullish. 2-day stock RSI is bullish. Once we start pumping, the larger time frames are going to turn bullish, which is why the relief rally is expected. But if it ends up coming up here and we don't make a new high, we have to be reminded of this. Because I actually checked MicroStrategy. Did you know that if you just shorted or sold or whatever, like when the stock RSI was still overbought, you may not have sold the exact top, but you got out before it started moving down. So that means that if MSTR comes up here like this, wherever the price is when it's here is probably the top. Because even in the bull market, look, the stock RSI hit overbought and it stopped going up. Here you can see it hit overbought and it went up a little bit more and then it fell, and then it came back to oversold. So it's like if you're gonna buy MicroStrategy, I'm not saying you have to buy in, but it's like you have to buy it when the stock RSI is oversold, because then it goes back to overbought. And then if you sell it when it's overbought, you always get a chance to buy back in when it's oversold. That's actually legit. Look. Now this was a bull market, so selling may not have worked, but you still got to buy back in and oversold at pretty much the same spot. And the same thing actually happened back here. So that's why if MicroStrategy hits overbought in February and it gets stuck, I think that's it, chat. Look at this, dude. The weekly stock RSI is actually much more useful than I thought. So this is going to be a very useful indicator that we have to monitor. Because if the stock RSI is overbought and MicroStrategy's stuck at, maybe it, yo, that's what I'm saying, dude. Look at this, dude. What if we get this relief rally and MicroStrategy is overbought in February, but it's getting stuck at 260? And then the Gaussian channel turns red. Nah, dude, dude, I gotta look at some stuff, man. I gotta look at some stuff. We're bullish for now, for sure. But like, let's see what happens. Because we don't want to assume either that it's just gonna teleport right back up. Like you might get something like 2023 or 2022 where it kind of like chops up as many people as possible. I remember this like it was yesterday. I really would be shocked if they did the same exact thing twice in a row. But now it's starting to look like they are. And when I say they, it's just the market. Yo, dude. Imagine we just shoot right back up to 106 by the end of December. Yeah, but this says January. Wait, is it? Do you think it's possible? Is it that simple? Wait a minute. Nah, listen, there's no way. It's not going to do the same exact thing twice in a row. It's impossible. If we went back to 108 in December, you know how many people would FOMO in? There's no way. Nah, there's no way the bottom's in April. That's impossible. That's impossible. It can't be, but it is. It is, you piece of shit. It's just hopium. It's not gonna happen. Same way. Ron for 2. I appreciate the 2. It's the same price it was yesterday, and now everyone is bullish. Well, everyone is bullish because we're bullish. We kind of have to go up from here, honestly. Pepe's up 11%. Is it really? Yeah, we're about to rip, chat. We're about to blast out of here. And the DXY is falling too. Yeah, we're about to fucking make a new all-time high. Everybody, you better get in before the boat leaves. No, I'm just not financial advice. Imagine being bearish when the S&P is about to make a new all-time high. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Euphoria is building. Yo, we're so back, dude. We're about to fly out of here. Can all season happen without Bitcoin? It's very unlikely. Why is everyone talking about February? Is everyone saying February? I don't know what anyone else is saying. I think February or March because that's what it looks like it's going to be. I don't know what everyone else is saying. Forgot the message. Can you look at Pengu? We should be getting a relief rally over the next couple of weeks. That's what it looks like. Oh, maybe Pengu already blew its load though. Whoops. Yeah, I would say Pengu is bearish below 13 and bearish below 16. If you can get over 16, the bottom is in and it's going to go to the moon, as you can see. So if we come to any time, basically, and Pengu's stuck at 16, it's still bearish. If you can get over 16, I would say the bottom is in, big rally coming. And then if it ends up rolling over from here, it's bearish. You're gambling on Barcelona? Let's get it, bro. The house always wins if you play long enough. Riser for 2 says, does your family watch your content? No one watches my content except for you. I appreciate the 2. You're my #1 supporter. Riser from Germany. Riser from Germany. Nijenhai. I don't even know how I should say that. I don't even know what that means, but I appreciate the 2. You guys better pile in before it leaves without you. That's crypto. When everyone says it's bearish, it's bullish. When everyone says it's bullish, it's bullish. So it's always bullish. This is a good indicator too. It says we're about to rip up. So if we reach overbought and nothing happens, that's it. That's a good chat. That's a good, hold on a second. That's a good actual statement to make. In this bull market, every time this indicator came up, we made a new all-time high. Or we made a new high for the cycle. Hold on now, let him cook. I hate saying, I never say that ever, brother. Brother, I've never said that dumbass shit in my life. Hold on, let him cook now. Every time we went from oversold to overbought, we made a new high. Chad, if you fail to make a new all-time high in the next 2 months, it's a wrap from Wendy's. Since the bull run started, every time you went from oversold to overbought, you made a new high. That's not even, I mean, the whole video is an opinion, but that's an opinionated fact. So if we go up to overbought and we don't make a new high, you're getting a trend reversal. Just like 2022. Good luck, chat. The name's Bond. James Bond. 120 by Friday? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yo, the Bulls are back. Look at the chat running wild. 50% is saying new all-time high. Let's get it. Let's get it, chat. Chat. That's the hopium I need. Well, it's hopium if we make a new all-time high. If we don't make a new all-time high, it's bearish hopium. 2 week is on the bottom. 2 week won't reach overbought. Okay, so if it's a bear market, the 2 week will not reach overbought. Voltec for 11. I appreciate that a lot, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I forgot to ask in my super chat. I'm getting excited. Please keep the weekly RSI on the watch for us. I distributed some of my Soj, Bonk, Pudgy, Mudang, and Plasma, Pengu. Yo, you're gambling in some dog shit. I could tell you that, man. He deleted the message. I appreciate the 11. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, man, and tell you that those coins are guaranteed to bounce, but they should. They should. If Solana has a relief rally, those coins should rally. I'll tell you this. I'm assuming you're looking for alt season, which a lot of people are. You've never had an alt season when Bitcoin was... Oh, it's the wrong time frame. That's why. You've never had an alt season when Bitcoin was below the green moving average. It's never happened. So if it happens this time, congratulations. You know, you bet against history and won. So I think the odds suggest, this is not me making it up, like I make up a lot of shit. The odds suggest that there's a 0% chance we get alt season. Every time we've come to where we are, the bear market was underway. However, every time we've come to where we are, we've had a big ass bounce, except for in 2014. Which that's actually not true. Even in 2014, you had a little bounce. In 2014, you had a little bounce. In 2018, you had a big bounce. In 2022, you had a big bounce. So technically, we should get a big bounce from here. It may not be as big as the others, and I don't think it will, because the first move down was very small compared to the prior bear markets. This is the smallest one. So I'll tell you this, Mr. Pangu. I see the trade that you're taking, and I'm not saying that you're wrong for taking it, but if these coins that you're holding do not move by the time Bitcoin comes up to 103, you have to make a decision. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm not telling you to buy. But if the coins you're holding do not move when Bitcoin comes up to this level, you have to make a decision. I'm not going to tell you to sell, but you have to make a decision. Because if we do not break out of this, it's going straight down. And I'll take it a step further. When we reached this point in both prior bear markets, the altcoins went straight down. So you see how Bitcoin came back to the low and it just did nothing from July? If you go to Ethereum at that same time, Ethereum went straight down from May. There was no, it just died. Even in 2022, from that point, there was no relief. It was straight down. So if we come to February or March or even January, it might be January, and Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, then you're in. You just beat history, which I'm not even being sarcastic. If you can beat history, then you're doing very well in life. And someone asked before, why is it February? It could be January, it could be March. The reason is, as I showed you about 10 minutes ago, if it's a bull market, every single time since the bottom was in 2022, this indicator went from oversold to overbought, you made a new high. It happened every time. It happened in March, it happened in October, it happened in December, and it happened again even in May. Which is why I kept saying February, because my guess would be that by February or March, this will be up on the ceiling. So if it's up on the ceiling and it's a bull market, then Bitcoin should teleport out of here. And you just beat history. Congratulations. That's hard to do. However, if we come up to March or February and we're up here, but the price is still down here, you're not beating history, you're repeating history. Because that's what happened here. And that's what happened back in 2018. So there's not even a guarantee that it reaches overbought. You can see in 2018 it didn't reach overbought. And in 2022 it didn't reach overbought. Which is why it could be even more difficult to say, oh, well, this is where we are. If it doesn't even reach overbought, then you know it's bearish. That's what you can say, too. So we got plenty of time. There's no rush. I do think for most people, the next 3 months are going to be the most difficult because you can't decide if it's bullish or bearish. You don't know what to do. Some people are convinced it's bearish. Some people are convinced it's bullish. Some people are all in. Some people are all out. Some people are shorting and longing and doing whatever. This is the peanut zone. It's the chop zone. I think there's a large amount of people that will have less money than they do now by the end of March. I think it's very possible. Even if the price goes up. Even if the price of Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, there's going to be a lot of people that have less money than they do now. I've been in that position many, many, many times. This one was one of them. Even though the price went up, I had less money. This one was one of them. Even though the price went up, I had less money. Because you're going to buy shit coins that don't even go up ever. And that's probably what's going to happen. Not saying everyone, but some people that will happen. But I would say this, Mr. Chat, Mr. Pengu. Not telling you to buy, I'm not telling you to sell. If we come to if we come to February and we're still not over 103, or your coins begin selling off before that, I'm not going to tell you to sell, but that's all I'll say. But I appreciate the 10. I appreciate the 10. Won't Dogecoin go straight down if we repeat history? That's the idea. We're looking for 5 cents for Dogecoin. We're looking for a 5-cent Dogecoin. As long as Bitcoin remains below the moving average, I think Doge goes to 5 cents. If Bitcoin gets back over the moving average, I think Doge could go wherever it wants. But you're correct. That is what we're looking for. Now keep in mind that I may be wrong. So you have to gather as much information as you can. But I'm just sharing you what has always happened. Sharing with you what has always happened. Because there are people that say, well, look at this. Every time this happens, we're bullish. I'm showing you the bullish and the bearish. Like, these indicators work both ways. So I think we're here. Where it was bullish, but nobody wanted to believe it. And then you did nothing for 3 months, and then you went up. Well, this was actually 6 months. But if you really think about it, man, the S&P has been in a bull market since October of 2022. And if you don't care about the S&P because it doesn't have to go down, then you could just say Bitcoin has been in a bull market since November of 2022. Like, we've been bullish for a really long time. It just sucks that we all bought shitcoins, so it feels like we never had a bull market. But that's life. That's just how life works. Like, what about the poor bastards that bought Luna Classic, man? Like, I can't look at this chart and tell you, fuck, man, I gotta get in before the bull run starts. Like, dude, it's just life, man. We fucked up. DC Woodworks for 2 says, do I still think the Russell can start all season? No, I don't. I appreciate the 2. I think I pointed it out yesterday, but the Russell 2000 actually continues bullish as Bitcoin enters a bear market quite often. We needed the Russell to break out before Bitcoin broke down. But you can see in 2013, Bitcoin topped, but the Russell went higher. You can see in 2017, Bitcoin topped, but the Russell went higher. In 2021, they both topped together. So, unfortunately, the data does suggest that there's a 50% chance, because you can see here the Russell broke down with Bitcoin. So 50% of the time the Russell breaks down with Bitcoin, and 50% of the time it actually turns bullish without Bitcoin. But 100% of the time when Bitcoin goes up with the Russell, it's over the moving average, and right now we're below it. We're actually below all of them on the smaller time frames. So no, I don't think the Russell matters. I appreciate the 2. You know what's going to be an interesting watch? The emerging markets. I wonder if that will be bullish. Because these are more associated with the market tops for altcoins. you know, which is interesting because when we had the rally from April, we really didn't get any euphoria. It's just the worst market cycle ever. It was. Well, I guess if you bought other stuff, it wasn't, but I mean, even if you bought Bitcoin, technically this was the worst market cycle ever because you had the lowest return. The next one's gonna suck, but it could be decent if we get all the good stuff everyone's talking about. Was that it? We're bearish again? It can't be. Nah, we're back. We're fine. What happened to the global M2? Yeah, even though I showed you the M2, I said over and over again that if we go down when the M2 goes up, it marks the top. I still have it. It's a good indicator because when it starts capitulating, it'll tell us that the bear market is coming to an end. But we made the argument that if the M2 moves up, but we don't, that's also what happens at market tops. So unfortunately, we got to accept reality. Like, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, believe me. But we have to I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm just showing you every time, like literally every time it's a bear market, the M2 goes up, but Bitcoin goes down. And I know for a fact I said that even though I showed you the M2. I said we got to be careful because if it rallies and we don't go up, it's not good. I never said it was a bear market, but I didn't not show it to you. Because all I do on my YouTube channel is just show you stuff. I don't actually like make predictions. Well, in the beginning I did, like in 2024, because everybody was bullish and I just said Doge to $2. But after we had the crash in March, I just started showing you rubbish like this. But I mean, listen, it's doing it again. The M2 is going up and we're going down. And the M2 isn't actually going to go down until the bear market's coming to a conclusion. So this is bearish. The M2 is climbing and we're going down. So if I had to guess, the M2 should roll over probably in April. And I think something better than the M2, which I already showed you this, is Tether. If you guys look at not Tether dominance, but Tether itself, USDT, this, when this capitulates, you know it's about to get fucked. But it doesn't capitulate until the end of the market cycle, bear market. So if you see Tether start rolling over, the bear market's coming to an end. We're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready, man. We're gonna survive this, chat. Don't worry. We're gonna make it out of here. I think you can be bullish. I know a lot of people in the chat are still moon boys, and I'll always be a moon boy, so I get it. But you got to give yourself some leeway. You got to give yourself a way out. And if we don't make a new all-time high by March or February, you're probably gonna have to make a decision. Because if you think about it, February or March is now how many months away from the top? Like you're 173 days from the top. So if we didn't make a new all-time high, you can go back and look at the prior market cycles. This one was 140. Actually, it was 133. This one, I believe, was 140 as well, chat. Listen, brother. I'm trying to cook. Trying to cook, cuh. Let him cook, chat. I hate saying that. It's kind of catchy. It's just so cringe. But look. If you put ETH USD on the chart, like you can see what I'm trying to show you. 133 days from the top, ETH went straight down. This is called suffocation mode. This is where the guy comes up behind you and puts a plastic bag over your face and just squeezes it till you suffocate. In 2018, it was the same thing. 140 days from the top, ETH, someone put a plastic bag over his head. It went straight down. You see how Bitcoin did not? But ETH did? Plastic bag, suffocation. ETH didn't exist in 2014, so I can't tell you what it did. So listen, 150 days post-top, which is March, if we do not make a new all-time high, It might be February. Listen, I'm not a freaking analyst, man. I'm just a jabroni. Someone else is going to have to tell you the exact moment, but I can only share with you the data. And it says if we did not make a new all-time high by April, or excuse me, 140 days post-top, that is your exit point. So we got to give the Moon Boys the benefit of the doubt until February. If we still don't make a new high by February, it's bear time, motherfucker. No, just kidding. It's bear time, motherfucker. What happened? Oh, I already shared. I already answered that. Either 64 or 107. Nah, we should go to 107, honestly. Or maybe 105. Maybe we don't. Maybe it just... Everyone's always saying everyone is looking for it, so it's not going to happen. I think there's no one looking for a move down to 50,000 from here. Like, even the bears are saying we got to go a rally back up. I think the move that would catch everyone off guard is if we just went down again. That would ruin everything. If we went down again to like 70,000, that would decimate everybody. But I think consensus is a rally back up to 105K. Then it splits between bear market or bull market. But I don't really know that many. I don't know what anyone is saying, but I scroll on X and I see almost every argument is rally back up to 100,000. So maybe we don't. Maybe it just does nothing. I prefer if it just did nothing because I'm going to get some FOMO, but if it goes up to 103,000 and it happens to be February and we get stuck, we have indicators to tell us that it's bearish, such as the Gaussian channel. Because if this puppy flashes red in February, think about this as the plastic bag. When the plastic bag flashes red, that means they're coming up behind you to sneak up on you and choke you out. It didn't flash red on the 4-day or the 3-day, so it's too early. We can't say that it's bearish. Well, you could, but for the people that refuse to say it's bearish, I understand. The 2-day flashed red. Even when it flashed red, you were bullish. So even here, you flashed red, you went down, then it was bullish. Here, you flashed red, you went down, then it was bullish. Here, we flashed red, we went down. So this is a good indicator, actually. Every time it flashes red, we go down. Now the question is, do we go back up for a new all-time high, or do we get a relief rally? Because if we do not go up for a new all-time high, you start changing the time frames. If we're still below 107K in January, this will probably flash red. And it has not been red since 2023. But it's a warning sign letting you know it's about to go straight down. It's not going straight down yet, but it's about to. The 5-day is where it's like, all right, fat boy, time's up. And then they just open up the trap door. But we're not there yet. So, but like, listen, you guys you're not retarded. I am sometimes, but you're not. Look, you can see you're over the channel. It's bullish. We have never been below the channel the entire bull run. The last time you were was the bottom. Now we're below it. So that's the first sign. And when we were here, we didn't want to accept it was a bull market, which we did because we're always bullish. But this is the first sign, like, hey, you know, when they say, hey, what you doing? That's what the bears are saying. Hey, what you doing? Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Hey, that's what it is. Hey, what you doing? Hello, Mr. Bear. What you doing? That's the buffet is closing. Yeah, I'm never going to the buffet, man. It was a good try. But all right, chat. Looks like the bull trap is complete once again. No, I'm just kidding, man. That's funny. Imagine it just goes right back down. Dogelon Mars is flying. Is it? Yo, it is. No shit. Nicely done, man. Nicely done. Did we get any more subs? All right, 559. All right, chat. If you could check the chat one last time, trying to get last second subscribers. We're almost at 560 food review channel. If you guys could get this video to 170 views, I'd greatly appreciate it. There's 200 viewers in the chat, which means there's people that are in the chat that did not watch this video. That tells me what you really think about me. But I do appreciate the support today. Chris dropped a lot of money. He sent me a full Litecoin that I plan on selling in February. I hope he doesn't get mad. But to be fair, he sent me Litecoin in 2023 and it's the same price. So technically I made the right decision. But I am going to hold on to it courtesy of Chris until March or February, and then I'm selling it. So I do appreciate the support from everyone in the chat. As always, none of this is financial advice. I appreciate the support, the subs, the super chats. God bless you all. Thank you for keeping the lights on. Believe it or not, the channel revenue for November was the highest in months. It was higher than October. It was higher than August. It was higher than September. So maybe I got to turn into Mr. Bear. Yeah, it was higher than October, September, August. July was higher. But I think March was lower too. So nice month in November. But we'll be back tomorrow. Looks like the bull trap is actually complete. No shit. So good luck to you all. None of this is financial advice. And bye.